ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहं। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। Hare Krishna. Since this is the month of Kartik, I have been thinking about how best to absorb myself in the Ramayana and how best I could share with you, if you're interested, each I guess day of the month. Now this is a big challenge. I will try to see if I can post a video every day. I'm not promising or making a commitment, but I would like to as part of my Kartika meditation. So why is this important is because today is Sharad Purnima, and since it's such an auspicious day, it has very significant events related in Krishna's pastimes and very significant event related in Sri Ramachandra's pastime. So let's say that the Indian almanac describes that there are 6 seasons that India goes through, or Bharatavarsha if you will. One is Vasanta or spring, Grishma summer, Varsha or monsoon, Sharad or autumn, Hemanta pre-winter, and Shishira, which is winter. Now in chapter 30 of the Kishkindha Kanda, Valmiki describes autumn season, and there is a similar description of autumn and rainy season, or rainy season and autumn, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 20. It's called the rainy and autumn seasons in Vrindavan. And then again there is description in chapter 29 of 10th canto, where it's titled Krishna and the Gopis meet for Rasa dance. Coming back to Ramayana, in Kishkindha Kanda, Sita Devi has been kidnapped. It's been a while since she has been kidnapped. Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana do not know any whereabouts of her just yet. They have some idea that Sugriva will help them. So they've made friendship. Sri Ramachandra has made friendships with Sugriva. And true to his promise, he first relieved Sugriva of Sugriva's distress of losing his kingdom, losing his wife, losing everything. And after killing Vali, Ramachandra made sure that Sugriva was coronated the king of Kishkindha. Then Sugriva did not fulfill, or had yet to fulfill, his side of the deal, But because it was Chaturmasya, Sugriva said, we'll pick up right after Chaturmasya. And we are at that juncture in Kishkindha Kanda where Chaturmasya is about to end. This is the Sharad Purnima, another month, and Chaturmasya will end. And the scene that we are at is this scene, that Sugriva is now in his kingdom and enjoying. Ramachandra is on Mount Prasavana and feeling extremely dejected and lonely in the absence of Sita Devi. Plus, he has another anxiety, that the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking that Bharata had promised to Sri Ramachandra, that I need you to come back here on the night of the last day of the 14th year. If not, the first thing I will do the next morning is enter a pyre of fire and kill myself, because I cannot tolerate any separation from you anymore. I understand you have a vow that you've made to our father. I will support it up until that point. After that, I will not wait one moment. However, here, for the past so many months, Ramachandra and Lakshmana have no clue where Sita Devi is. And Sugriva hasn't done what he was about to do or set out to do. And in that context, the autumn season has begun. And autumn is a season for lovers. Therefore, we see Ramachandra and later in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna performing their conjugal pastimes to their fullest extent in autumn, Sharad Purnima particularly. And today, Sharad Purnima. Now, for 13 years, Sri Ramachandra and Sita Devi enjoyed together in the forests of Dandaka, the Sharad Purnima. This one last year, where they thought they would, unfortunately, she is not there. And this, the movement of the elements in the sky and around is exciting or inflaming Sri Ramachandra's desire for Sita Devi's company. In other words, Cupid is shooting very painful arrows at Ramachandra's heart, tugging him to go to the greatest heights of separation from Sita Devi. And this separation by in Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Devotion is called Pravasa. At the same time, Sri Ramachandra is also concerned how Sita Devi, who's also probably looking at the same moon, also experiencing autumn, how she's dealing with her sense of separation. So to appreciate this, we'll go to Nectar of Devotion, chapter 44, where I quote Rupa Goswami and Prabhupada's translation, of course. Conjugal love is divided into two portions: Vipralambha, or conjugal love in separation, and Sambhoga, or conjugal love in direct contact. Vipralambha, or separation, has three divisions known as 1. Purvaraga, or preliminary attraction, 2. Mana, or seeming anger, and 3. Pravasa, or separation by distance. Later, Prabhupada writes, an example of pravasa, or being out of contact because of living in a distant place, is given in the Padyavali. And he continues. So now Sita Devi is living in a distant place. Exactly where, he doesn't know. And for Sita Devi, Ramachandra is in a very distant place. So in that context, This chapter 30 of Kishkinda Kanda opens this way by Valmiki. Valmiki is writing in a way that we get a mental picture of the scene. So let's see if we can, imagine or visualize what Ramachandra is experiencing. Although it's a long shot, but let's try. Guham pravishte sugrive vimukte gagane ghanaihi varsharatroshito ramah kamashokaabhipiditah. Guham pravishte sugrive. Sugriva has entered his chambers. And Ramachandra has seen that Sugriva is happily situated. Vimukte gagane ghanai. The sky has become completely free of any clouds. So it's a very, very clear sky. And not just daytime sky, but nighttime sky. Varsha Ratra Ushitah Rama. Sri Ramachandra is saying that the rains have stopped. And once in a while, there is the shower of autumnal rain. Of course, our reference is in second canto of what autumn rain does. Pravishta Karnarandhrena Swanam Bhavasaroruham Dhunodi Shamalam Krishna Shalilasya Yatha Sharat. That the Sharat Shalila, the rains that fall in autumn season, they settle all the dirt of the rivers down to the bed, and the rivers look crystal clear. So Varsha Ratra, the nighttime rains, sometimes there is this drizzle and rain at night. Ushitaha, Ushita means stayed there. Ramachandra stayed out on the mountain peak of Prasavana in those nights, Rama, and yet something's happening for him. Kama Shokha Abhipidita. Pidita means being troubled. Abhipidita means severely troubled. Kama Shoka. He's being severely tormented by Cupid's arrow, Kama, and Shoka, the lamentation that his consort is not with him to enjoy the autumn season. And then Valmiki describes the sky. Panduram gaganam drashtva Vimalam chandramandalam Sharadim Rajanim Chaiva Drashtva Jyotsna Anulepanam. Ramachandra saw the autumn sky, Drashtva, in the sky, that the light from it made sure for us to see that the sky was completely clear and pure. Sharadim Rajanim Chaiva, and it was the night of Sharad Purnima. That's what it means. And this Chandra Mandalam, this full moon, Mandalam means sphere. It was not a crescent moon or a half moon, but a full sphere. And the moonlight that shone through the sky and falling on him as well, because everything around him became lit up. Jyotsna Anulepanam. Jyotsna means effulgence. The effulgence of the moon, Anulepana, was like had completely caressed his body, the earth, the trees, and everything that was Nashtam cha Janakatmajam Buddhva Kalamatitam cha Mumoha absent. So Valmiki is saying that there are two persons who are absent there. One, Sugrivam. Sugriva is not present on the scene. Why? Kama Vruttam cha. He is busy and is enjoying great luxuries. And Sita is absent somewhere and definitely in severe distress. Buddha, having known this, Kalam Atitam Cha. Ramachandra is noticing, sometimes it says Buddhava, sometimes it says Drashtva, regardless. Ramachandra is noticing the passage of time, that Sita is not there, and Mumoha, again and again. Mumoha Paramaturaha. Atura means restless. Paramatura, extremely restless. So Ramachandra is restless because Sita Devi is absent. He is restless because she is not there with him to enjoy the autumn season. He is extremely restless because Sita is somewhere in distress and he doesn't know where she is. So, on the one hand, the scenery is inciting in him great pangs of conjugal moods in separation, and along with it, there is the fire of uh, distress or loss or lamentation about Sri Ramachandra and the scene of autumn night or full moon night and what Ramachandra is experiencing. Until then, may the month of Kartik draw our minds and hearts towards the divine couple Sita and Ramachandra, where we hopefully get a little mustard seed worth of appreciation for the pangs of separation that they are experiencing in the absence of each other in each other's company. And by absorbing ourselves in such thoughts, we may get little bit of mercy that will more than fill up our very tiny vessel of heart that we are bringing to them and seeking for them to fill it up. Hare Krishna. Happy Kartika and happy Sharad Purnima to all of us.